Hi guys, today I want to talk to you about watercolor supplies, what is out there that I recommend, what works for me. Stay tuned and we'll talk about it all. Okay, so first of all, let's talk papers. And I have quite a variety. Canson is one of my favorites for beginners. It's really affordable and it's got 140 pounds, which is a really good weight for watercolor. It's going to hold up to all that water you do. This is a little tutorial I did a while back. This is a commission of the skyline of Chicago that I did. You can paint on both sides of the paper and it's great. Some paper you cannot, but this one, go for it. And then also I want to show you guys a little close up. The texture of this paper is really nice. This is a cold press paper as well. There's also a hot press that exists. It has less texture, so I do like the cold press. 140 pounds, really good weighted paper to begin with, affordable. It is not cotton at all. Cotton is more professional paper. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now this is a mixed media here. It's not going to hold up to the water as well as something that is specifically watercolor. This one here is a larger version of Canson, which is really great. I love the ring binder and I recommend this a lot, especially when you're beginning. This one is a lovely sketchbook by US Art Supply. I absolutely love it. You can paint on both sides as well. Now this one is not 140 pounds. It's a little bit thinner, but it still works, especially if you're not using too much water. It does have a nice texture on it. And like I said, you can paint on both sides. I just did this for Patreon this morning. A little bit of an expressive painting here. And again, see that texture? It's really great and it has it on both sides. So I love these. This is what I currently use a lot, especially for my videos. And it has this little strap here so you can keep it all together. And then of course, if you're wanting to do more of a professional paper, this is one I highly recommend. Legion Stonehenge cold pressed paper. It is 140 pounds. Now it does work out to be about $1 a sheet. This is a 9x12. It has this block style here. There's a little part right there that's open. Just put in a butter knife or maybe a ruler and you can release that entire page by using that tool. So this is great because it's not going to ripple up while you're painting and it stays put as you're painting your composition. It's really helpful, really useful. 100% cotton, great stuff. Of course, people like Arches paper. It's a bit more pricey, a bit thicker, but anyway, you choose what you prefer. And then I have over here a couple little options. This one is such a cute little sketchbook here. It's Tumulta, I think is the name. I will put the link in the description there. It's got this little strap here to keep everything together. And it's a really small one. It's great if you're painting in the field and want to take some quick sketches and don't need a lot of space to do that. Okay, and the last paper I want to show you is this mixed media pad. And this one I got at Hobby Lobby. If you look at the side, it says Masters Touch, and that is their brand. It's great paper for sketching. This is something my daughter did here. And also I do paint in it. Now it's not the most wonderful paper to put water on, but it works. And so if you do some quick sketches and you're wanting to just kind of try out some ideas, either for some videos or compositions, and then add paint later, I use it. It works. It's great and it's affordable. Okay, let's talk paint. So this palette I absolutely love. I got this off of Amazon as well. It's highly affordable and it came empty. And here's all of my paint tubes, or some of the paint tubes. This is the paint I use the most, St. Petersburg White Nights paint. I love it because it's kind of a cross between a student grade and a professional, but it's got vibrancy and affordability, all the things. So I take my palette, I add all my tubes to this, I let it dry overnight, and then once it's dry, you can spray it with your water bottle and reconstitute that paint, just like so. And then you can go ahead and start painting with it. I hardly ever wash my palette because you can reuse it over and over again, just as I'm showing you, just reconstituting that paint and starting over. So this is a lovely way if you want to save money. It's more affordable to buy paints in tubes. You end up getting more paint for the dollar. But if you'd rather, you can actually paint out of pans. And that's coming up next. I want to show you what that looks like. This is my setup, but here you go. Here's a way that you can paint a little bit easier. If you don't want to mess with the tubes and all the things, you can purchase. This one is a Winsor Newton Cotman series. It is a student grade paint, but I've been using it and loving it. The colors are vibrant and lovely. Little brush there. So these are the pans and they come dried like that. Spray it down once again with your water and then you can start painting and mixing in these wells over here. Another thing to keep in mind with watercolor is that this palette will last a long time depending on how you use it. So if you were to take your paint and then add a lot of water to it and paint very lightly transparently, which is what is very beautiful about watercolor, it'll last longer than if you just take that paint straight up and add that to your paper. So that's your choice. This could last you for a very long time if you use it with lots of water in it. Okay, now let's talk brushes. So I have some brushes that are my go-tos. This is a number 16 round brush. It's great for washes. This is a number 6 or 8 round. That's good for most everything else that I paint. And then for the details, you want a very thin brush like this number 1 or maybe a number 2 round. It's going to give you that finite detail that you're looking for. There are other brushes I use, but these 3 are some of the common ones that I do really, really love. And then if you want to add some other types of brushes, this one can be replaced with a liner brush. A liner brush is great because the tip is so flexible that it really has a wide range of things it can do and very thin lines, which I love for flowers and such. So with this number 16 round, this is a Princeton Heritage brush. It cost me at least $20 on Amazon. So I wouldn't recommend if you're starting out with a budget, but I saved and would buy one item at a time. You could also use these brushes. Artist Loft, it's a Michaels brand. And I believe I paid $6 for 12 brushes. See how pointy they are? So they will not last you forever, guys, but they're affordable. Hobby Lobby also has their own brand of brushes that are pretty durable. So as I show you the other random things you need for painting with watercolor, I thank you so much for being here. If you're interested in painting more with me, definitely check out my Patreon classes, link in the description for more full-length tutorials. And I will see you guys on the next video. Take care. Well, guys, I hope that video was informative for you and that helps you when you make your choices on what supplies you're going to purchase. And remember, if you don't have a big budget, just like myself, I started off with really cheap paints from Ross. You can get the Crayola set that are for kids and just practice. And then you can build up, adding in little by little supplies here, a brush there, paper, and building up your collection slowly. There's no shame in that at all. But before you do any of that stuff, remember to have fun with painting. Happy painting to you, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.